Alright, what's up everyone? Daddy Warbucks here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Gizmo Storm is the DM through the series, so we're going to turn it over to him for the recap. Go ahead, Giz.
Alright. When we last left our group, you guys had just finished going through Zonthal's Tower, the glorious and fun maze outside, and all the magical stuff inside. You guys have actually, for the first time in this entire campaign, gotten your hands on one of the dragon masks. While leaving the tower, you guys ran into an old friend, Lenathan, the blue dragon the party first encountered way back at the start. This time he didn't manage to run away and tried to fight you guys to the death, and he was defeated. You guys have now traveled basically a great distance to get back to Waterdeep with your treasure to hand over the blue mask to the council.
So, are we in Waterdeep, or are we heading into the council chambers?
Okay. Alright, you guys have just arrived in Waterdeep, and the first thing you notice is everything looks normal. I mean, there's no obvious signs of cult or problems, but you are approached by two different messengers. One of them is dressed the same as the advisor that was standing behind Lord Dragago.
Hi, Don. Hi, Polk.
Daggled Never Member. If you recall, there was a person standing behind him. Mm-hmm. Someone dressed in the same style of clothes is approaching you, and another person from Daggled Never Member's actual entourage is approaching you. Which person would you like to speak with first?
Rano is not good with the word, so I'm gonna look nervously to the rest of the group.
Flip a coin?
Let's speak to Daggle. He's the important guy.
Yeah. I don't think was Daggle here. I thought it was just his crew.
It's somebody from his crew. Yes.
Right. Where is Lord Neverember?
He is in the council waiting for your guys' return. We've received word that you guys were successful, but he would like to summon you to a private meeting, just you and him first, before you guys go to the council meeting.
Okay.
Neverember is sus. Well, why don't you lead us there then?
Yeah.
I will meet you at the front of the building, and I will escort you to where he wants to speak to you in private. And he hurries off towards where the council is at.
This other guy, he because that council session was so many weeks ago, but he was this was the sketchy guy, right? Wasn't he a Zent?
Yes.
Okay. And does he leave with Neverember's attendant, or is he still standing there?
He's still standing there. As soon as the attendant leaves, he's like, I would like to have a word with you folks in private before you go to the council.
Why?
Well, based on the rules of conquest, you guys are now the owners of the Zonthal's Tower.
Wait, what?
Wait,
get the entire tower?
My employers would like to make you a generous offer for possession of that tower.
That can wait till after the council meeting.
Oh, well,
Well,
I
you
mean,
could at least let him make the offer.
we don't really need it. No, I mean, they can just have it, can't they?
Yeah, but then we could have like a tower.
For what?
Yeah,
Well,
for what?
we'd have a tower.
What? I don't want to have a house where I have to go through this ridiculous maze to get in there every
Okay, yeah,
time.
you're right.
Agreed. It was a
Mhm.
fun house. Let's
Mhm.
get rid of it.
Yeah,
Right.
Whatever the offer is, we accept.
But do
Wait,
we know
wait,
if we're kind of
Wait, let's negotiate first. What's it worth to you?
Well,
My
we-
employers are willing to offer you 50,000 gold for that tower and the maze surrounding it.
Nah, I say we should try to get more.
50,000, thank you very much.
Wait, no,
And I
Rano,
hold-
shut
I
up.
hold out my hand.
Ignore him.
I
He's
think we
old.
should. I think we should wait and not make any decisions until after we talk to them.
Yes, let's think it over.
What is there to think about? You just said we don't want to be burdened with this property. I still don't understand your customs.
I think we should take the consideration, and we'll be back with you on it. Rano, shut up.
Why don't we have to go talk to the council? Let's go report to the council.
But we can
The tower's
unburden
not going
ourselves of this
anywhere.
now. I don't understand.
It's just a common tactic used in negotiation. It's usually wise to consider if we're getting what the property is really worth.
And what is the property worth?
Well, this will give us some time to find out.
And in any case, that's not as urgent as seeing the council.
Yes.
But I assure you, whether or not you sell the tower to us is just as urgent as seeing the council itself.
And why is it just
Why?
Because my employers are very eager to find out exactly what the cults were doing in there, and we cannot do that unless we actually possess the tower.
That's
Well,
fine. We don't
you
care.
might be
Let's
able
go
to
talk the
possess it
council.
later. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. You'll be fine.
Like,
How much of an offer would it take for you to accept our offer?
It's not really.
Make me a counter offer.
It's not really about that. The simple fact of the matter is that we want to take a little bit of time to think about it and try and weigh our options before committing to something that we don't really understand. No offense, but I don't really know too much about the Zentarum, and what I have heard isn't particularly well, it doesn't shine you in a very good light. So I would be loath to give you something to relinquish something that like that over to an organization such as yours without gathering more information first.
Guys, I don't understand. You keep talking about the urgency of moving on to our next meeting, but we could sell the tower and be done with it and then move on.
Rano, there's some things you don't understand. That's it. You don't understand. Just shh. The grown-ups are talking.
No.
I'm
mean,
older
Rhonda-
than you by several centuries, boy.
I know, but okay. The people that know what's going on are talking. So it just
The tower's not going anywhere, and we might want to check it out ourselves. Let's go talk to the council.
I
because
am
the
never heading
council
back
is
to that
actually
accursed
present.
place. Do you not remember the maze?
Oh, calm down, Rano. Like we said, we can think it over and accept his offer after the meeting, unless something super dramatic and world-ending happens during the meeting. But oh no, that'll never happen.
Of course not. Let's go to the meeting.
But we wanted to talk to Neverember first as well.
Oh,
Before the
Neverember.
meeting.
Yes, Lord Neverember's waiting on us. We should go check in with him.
All right. The gentleman walks up to Rano and says, "You are obviously eager to depart. What if we raise our offer to 75,000 gold and we will also make a donation to the orphanage of 15,000 on top of
No.
the 75 we are giving to you.
Rano.
No.
Would anybody else hear this?
They started walking away because they didn't want to make the trade now. So he approached you directly.
I'm not, if somebody's walking up to Rano to try and continue this, I am tugging on Rano's arm trying to get him to come with us.
All right, then you would have heard the
Awesome,
new
but
offer.
Hey, Steve. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Also, I don't
Hope
know if it
everything's
counts for
going
anything,
well.
but 19 passive perception. So unless he's whispering,
And what is your decision? Are
No.
you willing to sell it to us at this inflated price?
Well, so here's the thing, right? Rano was willing to get rid of it at 50,000. So if he's offering 75,000 and the donation to the charity, Rano's going to accept right away. So the question is, who else overheard, and how would they respond?
Asifa, he wouldn't even completely have the words out of his mouth, and Asifa says no and keeps tugging on Rano's arm.
Well, at this point, I'm too impatient
Okay.
to intervene. I'm okay with that.
All right, based on passives, Crow and Finron would have heard the counteroffer, and Asifa said she was tugging on your arm to try and pull you away.
so Crow would say, "This seems awfully suspicious. You seem incredibly desperate to get this, and I've already expressed why I think that we might be wise to take some time. You pushing so hard now has me wanting to, well, gives me questions that I need to have answered. But I don't really have time for it now, so I'm going to talk to the people we need to talk to, and then we can maybe come back to your offer afterwards." That's my position. Also, the fact that you're trying to corner Rano because he seems to agree, he doesn't speak for all of us. And according to the rules of conquest or whatever it is, that tower belongs to all of us. He cannot make this decision on behalf of our entire party. For you to try and make him do that makes me think that you are very suspicious and dishonest. I don't trust you.
Well, hold on now. Who are you to say that I can't make such a decision? You don't speak for me either. I am an adult. I have walked this earth far longer than you could ever dream. And I think it's time that you all treat me with some respect. And I showed a dirty look to Lou.
For living so long, you might have actually learned something.
We can't give away what's yours, but it's not really your place to give away what's ours.
We didn't even know it was ours until he said it was. Maybe it is mine. You wouldn't know. I don't know. All I know is this man is offering us a large deal of coin. Coin that can do a lot of good for a lot of very hurt and disenfranchised people. But I suppose it doesn't matter, because your greed has overshadowed everything else. Let's just move on. Hiya,
As
Dan.
you start to walk away, he says, "The maximum offer I am authorized to allow today is 100,000, with 25,000 to the orphanage."
No, friend, they don't want your coin.
What about the orphanage?
I
Keep
am
in
told-
mind, Lou, that's the same orphanage you grew up in.
Just gonna turn my back, walk away.
So you turn your back on those that raised you. Our next offer may not be as generous.
How do you know where I grew up?
If the cult knows everything about you guys, so does the Zentarum.
We're heroes.
This man keeps talking. I'm not about to be hero in a minute.
Lord Never Ember awaits. Oh, sorry. Lord Never Ember awaits us. Let's go.
I'm with Isafa. Let's go.
As you guys are walking away, he hollers out, "You're missing out on a very good deal." So I take it you guys go to visit with Daggle.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Just like he said, he was waiting out front, and he brings you guys to a private room where it's just the 6 of you and Daggle. My friends, we have some important stuff to discuss. I am waiting for one other to show up, but he has not arrived yet. He takes a seat behind his desk, and he then walks up over to the door because he's getting antsy waiting for the other person to arrive. He opens the door, and sure enough, Elielson walks in.
I'd say, Lord Neverember, you don't happen. I mean, you were the Zentarum was standing sort of by your side in the last council meeting we had. You don't happen to know why they're so desperate to get their hands on this tower, do you?
Probably for any magic that's still left inside. Anything that the cult hasn't ransacked.
And would you
If they-
trust them? I mean, they offered us a great deal of coin for it, and when we refused, they tried to corner Rano into getting him to give the tower on all of our behalves without us overhearing, and then sought to sort of manipulate him into into selling. And then after that,
Manipulated.
even a veiled threat.
A veiled threat?
Well, the calling after us saying our next offer might not be so generous, given the activity that the Zentarum are known for. That's likely not just a turn of phrase.
They tried playing on my childhood.
Okay, that sounds like common tactics that would be used by any market stall vendor you guys come across. Find a way to try and talk you into
Well,
it.
it seemed like some of his words were veiled threats. I'd keep an eye on the Centurium if we were you.
Everyone keeps an eye on them. Nobody really trusts them completely. But that is not why I asked to speak to you guys before we had the council meeting. Something has happened that is pretty much really big. We have been approached by a member of the Red Wizards of Faye.
Did I call that?
I think he did.
So, Rano, already angry because of the interaction with that had happened outside, is gonna, audibly grunt and scowl. Thayans, for what purpose?
Well, as you already know, the exiles from Faye, the Red Wizards that have been exiled, have been working with Severin for his plan to bring Tiamat back. They feel that these exiles are a threat, and Tam would like nothing better than to kill all the exiles, so they can never do anything like this And so obviously we're going to need to send an envoy there.
Wait, I didn't follow that. Are the exiles with the cult, or are
The
the
exiles
Thayans
are with the cult, and it sounds like Sastam doesn't want the Thayans to help the cult, so we get to kill them dead. But first, we need to go as an emissary to Faye.
Correct.
See, I got it. I thought you were the smart one.
I don't follow politics, though. Okay, well, so why did you want to talk to us before the council? Why isn't the council telling us this?
Because not all members of the council believe that an alliance, even a temporary one, with the Fae would be a good thing.
It's
Some
because
believe
the
that
Thayans
it
are
can't be
snakes.
trusted.
They're dastardly and devious, and if we jump into their bed, we'll surely be receiving a poisoned dagger in the back.
There's a group that I trust less than the Zentarum. It's definitely the Thayans.
What's so bad about the Thayans?
I just look at them and kind of hold up my hands like, what?
Well, but what did they do to earn that? I mean, you said they're like snakes and they stab people in the back and all that, but
it's because through history, the Thayans have shown time and again that they are only out for the betterment of the Thayans. They actively work against the peoples of the continent, and their Council of Zulkirs are some of the most black-hearted and devious that I have ever known to walk the earth.
Are they anything like the Drow?
In which way? I mean, if you think that a mage city ruled by a lich and overseen by a council of undead is anything pleasant, then I don't know if I'm in good company.
yeah, that sounds bad.
Yes, I think we are in agreement with the rest of the council. This alliance may prove to be a bad idea.
And shouldn't we report into the council? I mean, should we just hand you this mask, or should we go report to the whole council and then talk about this? Why are you giving us before the council meeting?
Isn't it obvious? He wants to send us to Faye right away.
And to let you guys know what the council is going to discuss. The council is pretty divided right down the middle. Half the council thinks it's a good idea. Half the council thinks it's a bad idea. I mean, it's going to come down to a vote, and Lady Silverhand is the only one that hasn't given an opinion either for or against it.
So, who in the council is for and who is against?
Well, I already said that Lady Silverhand is neutral right now. Raven Guard and Brawn Anvil are against it. And so is the Order of the Gauntlet and the Emerald Enclave.
Well, of course.
Well, so are you proposing that we go to Faye before we talk to the council?
Or help those of us that feel this would be a good idea to have some Red Wizards on our side to help combat the Red Wizard exiles that Severin is using?
I think the better question is this. If we do ally ourselves with Faye, and we eliminate these exiles, they agree to help us when it comes time to assault the Well of Dragons. But what then? How else are we going to be indebted to the Thayans? Because it's never such a simple arrangement with them.
And how do we count on them to follow through? If we agree, how do we know that they will actually do it and follow through on their word?
The envoy that they sent here to bring us this offer has been carefully questioned and has been subject subjected to a zone of truth. Everything that she has said is true and has been confirmed. They're offered to help us with this situation. They feel that in a time like this, the enemy of your enemy is a friend, is an ally.
I think the notion is preposterous. Maybe
Yes,
they do intend
that-
to follow through at the moment. What stops them from changing their mind 2 days, a week down the road?
Or what prevents them from lying to their envoy so their envoy can say something truthfully under the zone of truth that isn't what they intend?
And I believe you're misquoting the common adage. I believe it's supposed to go, the enemy of my enemy dies second.
Rano's gonna just nod and point. Yeah, what he said. That is correct.
Then Leosin speaks up. All right, I've known you guys for quite a while. We've worked together in the past. All of the Harper's sources in Faye say that this offer is completely on the level.
But should we ally ourselves with Thay? How could you even consider this?
For a crisis as large as this, having red wizards of our own on our side to combat their red wizards is a good thing. The Harpers fully support this.
I suppose we could go and listen to what the Thayans have to say and look for any loopholes and see if we can get them in an ironclad contract.
They've already made the offer that's supposed to be truthful.
Well, they've made the offer, but we could come back with a counter offer instead of just an agreement to the offer.
We're not the negotiating party, though.
Oh, so what? Okay, I turn back to Lord Ember. So what is it you want us to do then?
Look, you want us to convince the council to let us go to Thay and then convince Thay to help us.
Most of the ruling faction in Thay is completely for this, but just like us, they're divided. They have some that feel this won't be a beneficial to either side for Thay to join us against the cult. So you will need to convince the ones that aren't convinced that yes, this would be a good it would work for all parties if we work together to defeat this crisis of them trying to bring Tiamat back.
I think that my comrades and I need to have a private discussion before we head to the council chambers.
It sounds like.
All right. Well, I can let you guys use my office. When you are ready, we will be in the council chambers. He then leaves. Leosin slowly gets up. As he's leaving, he stops at the front of the desk and he sets down 6 little packets of paper and says, if you guys do decide to go, these will help you and show that you are the emissaries that this council is sending.
But how can we claim to represent a council if the council's divided?
Well, they want us to convince the council first. They want us to convince the council to let us go and convince Thay.
So how are we not the negotiating party if we're supposed to be convincing both the council in Waterdeep and the council of Thay?
Because we're not making negotiations. We're just trying to sway them to agree to the deal. We don't have any power to leverage things.
Well, so what do you guys think? Who do we work for? Do we work for the council? Do we work for the Harpers?
I think the question is, as much as I hate to admit it, Leosin does make a point. If the cult succeeds and Tiamat is revived, then we all lose. So every free hand would be beneficial. But is it worth compromising ourselves to work with these abominations?
Yeah, are we worth saving if we resort to that?
Well, my only concern would be that if we succeed in defeating Tiamat, we might immediately have to encounter Faye, who may well be, in a better position than we are, considering the amount of power that they have. And if they go about kind of holding back a little bit.
You make a very funny but interesting point. If we survive Tiamat, then I think we would be equipped to handle anything the Thayans could throw at us. Maybe it would be all right after all.
We have already killed 2 of them.
I turn to Lou. You're uncharacteristically quiet.
Just trying to process this all. It's a lot.
And what would you have us do? Do we aid the mages of Thay or nay?
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
I guess, for one thing, that aiding the mages of Thay in terms of getting rid of their exiles takes allies away from the cult. So it helps us and it helps them. And then if they agree to help us after, I mean, in theory, it's a net gain.
Maybe there's wisdom in this. We don't make a formal allegiance. We simply go and kill the cultists and their allies. What happens after simply happens. Turn to Roland. Do you have a voice in the matter?
Well, given the fact that we've killed some red wizards already, how many do we know that there are that are actually still exiles of the red wizards? I mean, how many have we killed so far? Only
Maybe
2?
that information will be available once we head into the council chambers.
Well, that's something we'll need to look into, because if we've already killed the exiles that they're wanting us to kill, then the red wizards have nothing to offer.
I'm sure it's the red wizards that would probably be the ones to tell us how many exiles they have that are probably working for the cult. It's crazy, though. For a bunch of cultists and dragon slayers, we do an awful lot of politics to say that we're working closely with a group of politicians. You would think that they would have actual emissaries to send that would be better equipped to negotiate stuff like this.
All right, considering the council is waiting, what would you guys like to do?
I vote for what we should go to Thay and at least see what's going on there.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, I'll second that.
I think I want to. So, are we proposing to go to Thay before we listen to the council? No, because we're.
No.
I think I want to listen to the council before I agree to try and sway either council any direction.
Rano has just resolved to kill cultists, whether they're Thayan cultists or otherwise.
Yeah, that is Crow's mentality as well.
To the council.
Okay.
All right. As you guys enter the council chamber, you guys see the usual cast of characters. You see the Zentarum standing behind Daggold. Off to one side, over near the Harpers, you guys can see a red wizard. And as you enter, Daggold asks, "So did you guys decide what you plan to do?"
I'm just going to ignore the question. Turn my attention to the council.
Braun Anvil notices that you didn't answer, and he looks at you, and in a very gruff voice, he's like, "I still think it's a bad idea. But what do you guys think? You guys have done the most to defeat the cult. What is your opinion on this?"
I'm a point at my chest and kind of look at him like, me? You talking to me? Or is there anyone else in this party?
Well, we wanted to hear what you guys have to say about working with Faye, but we've come to a general consensus. It's not unanimous, but
Sir Eisteval speaks and says that about half of us disapprove of working with the Fae. It has merit, but we don't completely agree with it.
We haven't decided either. We'd like to hear your concerns.
King Malindrak speaks and says, "With the way you guys have handled all the other emissary stuff that you've had to do, and the way you guys have been dealing with the cult, we feel you are the best group to send to discuss what the Fae plan to bring to this fight against the cult. We know that they have numerous exiles. We're not even sure on the actual count of how many exiles they have or how many are working with the cult. But if we can get an advantage against these exiles, I believe it's in our best interest to take it."
And what is this council willing to give? You're asking us to find out what Faye's willing to give. What are you willing to offer?
Do we need to offer anything?
I don't know.
They came to us with the deal, right?
Correct.
they did.
Yeah, so we have the leverage. They want the help of the party, right?
Yep.
Yes. As
So-
it is right now, the emissary was sent by Faye to the council to request that they send an envoy to Faye to discuss working together to get rid of the common enemy of the exiles.
So there it is. If we go to Thay and then we agree to their plan, they're going to send us to go deal with their problem. Which, I mean, that
is a large part of your problem as well.
doesn't sound too bad. We don't even have to make any additional concessions, and we still are acting towards our own goal of disrupting the cult.
Not only that, but it saves us the time and effort to track them down.
That's true. They may have spells that can track them easily for us.
So
Okay.
Rano will stand up. I will agree to go to Thay. And I look to Crow.
Crow says, "Yep, you can count me in too. If it gets me to kill more cultists, it's all good."
Well, so long as we're ending these cults activities, I am always in for that.
Same here.
I'm along with the rest of you.
There it is, then. We will entertain and see what the Thayans have to say. But we agree to nothing. Our goals are our own. And if we do happen to align with their interests, it's only because it serves us as well.
Yeah.
Nevermember says, so it's agreed, you guys will go. Does anyone in the council have any major pressing reasons why we shouldn't go through with this? And as soon as he asks that, it basically starts a screaming match between the yeses and the nos.
Let's just go.
I kind of want to hear what they're saying. But not just like told, like I need Giz to do like 15 different yelling voices. I mean, I'm just trying to picture what's going on. I'm kidding, of course.
Well, I'm glad you're kidding, because I can barely keep voices straight as it is. But you notice that, like, the Order of the Gauntlet is screaming about how they practice necromancy and can't be trusted. Whereas the Harpers are saying their goals align with ours.
Technically, we practice necromancy too.
Yeah.
We literally brought Isafa back from the dead.
And I literally bring people back from the dead. I animate people as well.
Wait, wasn't there someone else too? We used a raised dead scroll on someone before.
Lou. He got melted, didn't he, by the Death Tyrant?
Right.
Oh, hey. Yeah, that was me.
So, to Thea, I guess. Wait! Do we need to purchase any supplies before we go? Can we purchase any supplies before we go?
Healing potions.
Yeah, I know some people
probably
use
could.
their emergency superior potions.
Wait, I think I still have that.
I used mine.
Crow definitely used his.
Well,
I got a supreme one.
Waiting for the DM to give me the yes, you can purchase supplies before travel.
I mean, I need potions.
Hey, Lou, you're useless in the council chamber. Why don't you run along and purchase things off of this list?
You're sending me shopping. You know, I will gladly go shopping.
Do you give him the bag of holding with all the gold in it?
Ooh.
He starts selling all of our resurrection diamonds.
Oh, no, he just pockets them.
He
He still has the resurrection diamonds on him, but oh guys, sorry, I lost it. I don't know where they went. Come on, boy, quit playing.
Went through a back
Isafa is
alley.
literally dead right now. It's like,
Yeah, I know, sucks, man. If only we had those
yeah, I
diamonds.
know. I don't know what happened to it.
You probably lost them. You know, you're always
Okay.
very clumsy.
Did I hear that correctly? You guys are splitting the party?
I'm going shopping while they stay and do politics.
Well, that was a hypothetical. We're still waiting.
Nope. I'm going shopping.
Cool.
I want to go shopping.
I
Give
think
me the
we
list.
might have to
While
use our
the
other diamond.
council is screaming and yelling at each other, you notice that the red wizard walks over towards you guys.
Gonna curl my lip and growl at him.
Hello, my name is Nye Elmick.
Could you spell that, please?
It's in chat.
What is chat? I don't understand. Sorry, I'll stop.
So this. Are we at Thayer? Is this who we're talking to?
No, we're
about
still
it?
in the council.
You're still in the council chamber. The Red Wizard came up to you. The envoy that was sent to the council here.
Yep. Speak, wizard.
I overheard you say you need to shop. You will not have a need to purchase stuff when we get to Faye. You notice that Leolson came over with her and said, and he says, as long as you have those warrants that I handed you guys, those sealed warrants, you guys will be basically representing the will and desires of the Lords of Alliance and of all the members of this council. You will not be harmed. You will not be attacked while you are there.
That is besides the point. We've just returned to civilization after a long extended travel. We have reagents, supplies that need replenished.
Plus, depending upon how long the travel is to Faye, we could be attacked along the way as well.
The emissary looks at you and says, it is 2,500 leagues from here. We are not going to travel by normal methods. That would take us way too long, and Tiamat would be back before we even got there.
Good. I like that plan. Fast travel.
So... magic.
No shopping.
That's what it sounds like. And then I can see it now. I can see it now. Isafa's gonna get poisoned, and I'm gonna go to try to cleanse her, and then we don't have the reagents.
We don't want to get caught in a situation like that again. We don't know what exactly is going to arise. After all, wasn't it part of your message that there are people within Faye that don't think it's necessarily a good idea for them to get involved with us, and that's why we're going to convince them?
You just go ahead and prepare your teleportation circle. We'll be back here within the hour.
Yeah, I'll be fast.
Yeah.
Give me the list, Rano. And the bag of holding with all the monies in it.
6 superior healing potions, 2 diamonds
Wait,
of
I need to
500
write
gold
this down.
pieces or more. We would also need
6,
powdered diamond dust, a value of 100 gold pieces.
Wait, I need to write this down.
What do you mean?
I can't remember that.
Why can't you?
Lou, I think at this point we're all going to go, and we'll come back to.
Yeah, I'll come with you. Just
yep.
let's go quickly.
No,
quickly.
just. Dang it.
Basically, the emissary asks you if you guys have ever seen the small farm just outside of town.
There's a lot.
It's all by
small
itself.
farms.
It's run down, not used. Can't
Seems like
miss
a-
it as you walk out of the gate.
Then yes.
You know how big Waterdeep is and how many gates there are, right?
Okay, just as you walk out of the north gate,
Okay, we'll find it.
meet me there when you guys have completed your shopping.
5, 6. Do you actually want us to do the shopping, or do you want us to just remove the gold and add the items?
Just remove the gold, add the items.
Cool. I already started. Another diamond. How expensive? Does anybody remember superior healing potions? For 500 each?
Let's see if I can check.
It sounds right.
Rielson looks at the party and says, did you guys remember to grab those sealed warrants I set on the desk for you?
Yes, I have them right here as I tiptoe over to the desk and grab them.
Tiptoe over to the desk in a different room.
Yes, I'm stealthy like that.
Absolutely.
All right. Those sealed warrants will indicate that you guys are acting on behalf of the Lords of Waterdeep and the Lords Alliance. And it will indicate that you are under protection from both groups.
Excellent.
500.
But okay. I'm removing how many? 1, 2. I'm removing 3,000 from the party fund. So then everybody will get one more superior potion. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you already have
Yep.
one, now you have 2. If you used one before, now you have 1. Sound good, Giz? Is that fine?
That works.
Boom.
So
One
a
superior and one
superior.
greater.
Yeah, potion of healing
Yeah.
superior.
Which one's better, superior or supreme?
Supreme's the biggest, but those are like 2,000 each?
Did we buy those before?
No.
5,000.
5,000.
Okay, I totally added the wrong one to my
No,
sheet. then.
superior is 8d4 plus 8. Isafa, you used one before, right?
Yes.
Okay. Add 2 to your sheet, because after buying a round for everybody, that gives me 3. So I'm gonna give you one of mine.
Okay.
So now I have 2, you have 2. I think that puts everybody at 2. And then
No, Roland only has one.
I
And Crow
bought.
has one.
Right, Jesus, guys.
I'll have 2.
I will give my 2
We've
to.
been in dire straits.
I will give my 2 to Roland and Crow then. So then you all have 2. I have healing spells. And if I go down, you guys have potions to give to me.
Right.
I like
That
this.
works.
All right, there we go. I will remove those from my sheet.
I don't think I've used any of the potions.
No,
that,
I just heal you.
You've given me
I also bought.
because
Here, you want this one, Lou? This is my potion of fire breath.
I bought an
Uh,
additional 500 gold piece diamond. So currently, just to do quick inventory, we have a raised dead scroll that we never used. We have 3 diamonds for raised deads, and we still have the emergency unguents. So if somebody gets their body destroyed and we can't raise dead, don't worry, I'll reincarnate you. And then I also have 10
Hey.
diamond dust for greater restos, and then just do a check spellcaster, see if there's any other reagents we need to buy. I think we're good.
Hey Rana, do you remember how long ago you bought a bunch of greater healing potions for everybody and gave everyone 2 each?
No idea. No.
I still have them.
Huh.
Hey, look at all these healing potions we could have used.
You still have them. Okay, that means that I'm not hitting you enough. Got it.
No, it's just that Rano heals me. I don't heal myself. You're hitting me well enough. I promise you.
I don't think you are. Hit him hard. Hit him hard, hit him fast. Yeah, I think I'm good. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Yep. Okay. While you guys are out doing your shopping, Leelson goes with you to give you guys a few last minute bits of advice. Basically, he tells you guys to refer to everyone by titles. That
Huh.
is very important in the Fae culture.
I'm not doing that.
Me either.
I don't even know if I know their titles.
I wouldn't be able to keep them straight.
I'm sure they'll introduce themselves in their titles.
They should simply be grateful that I am not actively trying to kill them.
What was the next thing?
Basically, that hope you're not too squeamish. There are a lot of undead, and necromancy is very rampant there.
It's an abomination. It disrupts the natural I'm sorry, continue. This is not gonna go well. We're all gonna die
asked us to do
because
it.
we're gonna pick
They
a
know
fight
us.
with the Thayans.
They know this. They know this about us by now. So
Well, no,
Wait,
we
well,
have the
it's not like
things, right?
we've
We're not
ever
gonna be
treated
harmed.
them.
We have the somebody
Uh-oh.
hold on to these.
Wait, we have papers that say we can't be harmed?
You have papers that say you are acting on the full authority of the Lord's Alliance.
Oh, papers, stop the fire. Oh. Papers don't do anything. They just make you seem high up and you go, oh, you can't touch me. And then
No, there it
someone
is.
just comes up
So
and
we
slaps
won't
you in
get
the
attacked.
face.
We'll just initiate a war with the Thayans. Huh. They're acting on behalf of the factions, huh?
This doesn't protect us. What's a paper for?
Okay, we're ready.
No, wait. He was still
Basically,
giving us
the-
directions, I think.
Oh. I'll
right.
forget them. Don't bother. We're
And
ready.
as you know, the Lich Sazkarn is in charge. He's the leader of Faye. His council is a bunch of powerful liches. Everyone of consequence in Faye is a spellcaster, and necromancers are common. You're going to see a lot of undead servants. Please do not start any fights. And
Make no
like I
promises.
said, everyone you guys meet that has a title, use the titles as well. Remember, these sealed warrants say that you are under our protection and acting on our behalf. They won't guarantee your safety, especially if someone were to start a fight.
So then Blue must talk the entire time.
Or
So
Finrod.
if we start a fight, we have to finish it. Right. We're ready for
With-
this. We got it.
With the size of their, with the size of the land you guys are going to, I don't think there is a finish it if you start anything.
Well,
Not in any way. Well, if you were to come back to us after starting something there, it would not be as yourself. Remember, necromancy is really big there. You would not be coming back to us as yourself.
So, does anybody know how to use like a teleportation spell to get us out of there if needs be?
I have Plan B, and I hold up the tuning fork.
Excellent. See, we're good. We got this.
Okay, I think we're set. We should probably go to that farm.
All right, so are you ready to depart then?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, as you guys are leaving town through the north gate, you notice that the emissary is actually standing at the gate waiting for you to arrive. And basically, as soon as you walk near them, they basically immediately trigger the teleport spell. And the 7 of you are instantly teleported 2,500 miles away
I do a quick
to
check.
the land of...
I do a quick check. Can I feel everything? Hot, cold, pinch, pain, everything okay?
What?
She doesn't like teleporting.
I don't like teleporting. I have to make a quick check to make sure I'm okay now.
Did we all make it?
You look okay.
Yes, all 6 of you made it, and the emissary that brought you here also made it. As far as you can tell, there is no new parts that aren't working
Neurolog.
like they should, no neurological issues.
I'm gonna hold up
Okay,
the
I'm fine.
papers, and I'm gonna kind of shove them towards the emissary and start tapping them vigorously. Take us to where we need to go, dog.
Rano.
Just coming out swinging.
Just, are you trying to start something? Give me the papers. Give me the papers, Rano.
I don't protest. I let you have
I'm pretty sure
them.
that we should all have our own. I'm not.
Do
know,
we
it's
all
not a
have
good
our
idea.
own?
We should all have our own. We shouldn't be
Yeah,
having
give me
one
mine.
person holding onto all of our papers.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was like just like a
One paper
declaration
for all of
that
us,
we
right?
had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
not.
think-
It's not like.
No.
I don't know.
It's just
DM,
stating
is
what
it
we are.
a series of papers, or is it just like?
Do we have our own? They have like our names in fine print.
You really want your name in fine print on it.
No.
I was just curious.
Make me feel better.
There is one for each of you.
Ooh.
And just
I
to
love
make
mine.
Lou happy, your name is in a fancy embroidered in like 8 different languages on the front.
Best DM. I'm gonna take Lou's.
What? Hey,
I'm Lou now.
give it back.
Yes, this is me, Lucifer, and I don't like your face.
Hey, first of all, it's Cypher. Second of all, give me my papers back.
I can't frame Lou with his papers. That's okay.
All right. When you look around, you notice that you are in what looks like in a keep.
Okay.
Nye basically tells you that you are in Nethwatch Keep. The current commander is Tharkjon Eseldra Yeth.
I'm sorry. Can you one more time?
Tharkjon Eseldra Yeth.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the party and hold up my hands. Is he saying words right now? I don't.
It's a name.
Is it? Kind of name is that?
I
A
believe
Thayan one, apparently.
Thayan is a title, and Eseldra Yeth is the name.
That is correct. Tharkjon is, well, let's see. From Sword Coast, it'd be basically the governor.
So I am to call him governor.
No. It's Tharkjon.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, are we to meet with this Governor Yeth, or are we to go somewhere else?
She starts heading towards the main building in the keep.
Asif is right up there with her.
Yep, Crow too.
And I think we're all following.
Gonna whisper to Lou. So, how far do you think I can take this?
I mean, do you want to start a war?
I have no regard for these Thayan's feelings.
I would preferably like to go home. So if you do want to take it far, tell me when I'm not here. Like, do it while I'm leaving.
We will make it
Okay.
home. We fought giants and dragons and all manner of things. These Thayans do not scare me.
Well, they're magic people. And magic's not fun.
Never would have counted you as a coward, Lou.
I'm not opposed to running away.
Crow looks at Rono and goes, "Really?"
Do you not remember when you killed Isfa? What did I do?
The
I
first thing
ran.
he did was run away.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, if things turn south, I'm not opposed to abandoning all of you. Just letting you know.
Lou,
I knew I should have pushed you off that dragon.
But you didn't.
Well,
Okay.
I will
As
tell
you
you
guys
my
are
intentions. Sorry. But my intentions are, if things go south, as you put it, I will draw down the sun and we will obliterate this spot off the map. That is all.
As you guys are approaching the building, you notice that the streets are full of servants walking around. You see a lot of red wizards walking around. You also see a lot of like rites and other various undead walking the streets as if it's completely normal. They're going about whatever business they were assigned to,
What did you say?
not paying you guys any attention. Some of the wizards give you like just a curious glance and then go back to doing what they were doing. You guys arrive and 9 basically brings you in to a large meeting chamber where you guys are introduced to basically Tarkion Eseldra Yet.
I'm just gonna kind of fold my hands in front of my stomach.
I'm not liking the look of this map.
I'm gonna... Oh, we're on another map.
Don't like the looks of these people.
Are they? Oof. Those are definitely not liking this.
So I'm guessing that those are red wizards. These are the liches around, and I guess the Tharkayans is like a vampire.
Maybe he just doesn't get out a lot.
You there. Are you Tharkayan Yeth?
Why, yes. And welcome to Nepwatch Keep.
Can we dispense with the pleasantries and get right to work, please?
Hey, Rono?
I turn and look at Lou.
I know I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Do you remember Asbaros Jones? Is that what his name was?
Ah, yes, Espresso. What about him?
That's wrong group. Wasn't he, one of these wizards?
Yeah, he was likely one of the exiles.
I mean, what? Okay. I mean, should we mention him, or should we just not say
Maybe we
anything?
let this one talk first.
Okay, continue, sir.
And as soon as you guys stop talking, then Tharkon Eseldra Yeth delivers a speech that you can tell is been prepared. We find ourselves bound in common cause against common enemies. Those who sought to destroy us in ages past now seek to destroy you. Our thirst for vengeance is strong, as is your thirst for continued life. Our enemy has become your enemy. We know their weakness and ways of destroying them forever, without destroying their usefulness. You have the opportunity to discover their hiding places in your struggles against their cult allies. Together, we can remove them as a threat to us both. Our agent, Ilmek will return with you to your city of Waterdeep, there to serve as our liaison to your council. What you learn of the enemy, she will relay to us by means of our own. You only need to find the enemy. We will deal with them as is our custom. I am authorized by our eternal master, Sastarn, to say these things, for I act in his name.
I whispered to Rano, I thought they already knew where they were and we were going to just take care of them. This sounds like the wrong way around.
So I hold up my hand. So let me get this straight. And as I talk, he keeps accentuating like every sentence with like a little chop of the air. So let me get this straight. You want us to find where the exiles are located and not kill them?
Well, if you must kill them, then by all means. There are ways around that as well.
So you're not opposed to us if we see them kill them.
If that is what must be done, that is what must be done.
And what aid do you propose to offer to the factions if we agree to your terms?
We have a common enemy. The exiles are working with your cult to bring Tiamat back.
Yes, of course. If we find these exiles, they are as good as dead, as are all the cultists who stand before us. But what benefit is there for us if we allow your emissary, Nim Ilnik, if they continue in Waterdeep and they relay information to you from the council? How does that benefit us?
Once you guys have a plan of attack to stop the cult, the exiles will be there.
Not if we kill them.
And how many exiles do you think there are?
How many do you think they are? I'll play your silly little game.
We know how many we have exiled.
So why can't you tell
Then
us?
can we quit dancing with words and you just tell us?
Rano.
What? He wants our help, but then he's not forthcoming with the information.
You could, tone that. You're at like a 10. We're kind of
I'm
looking
with
for like
Rano
a
on this.
3.
This is my
I mean,
normal mode
yeah,
of
but he
operation.
doesn't
I don't
need to
have
scream.
another volume.
Gosh.
Also, and I point, he's an undead. We do realize this, right?
Wait, he is?
Yes, I assume.
I don't know.
Yes, I am a vampire. What you would classify as undead.
Abomination.
Rano. Shut up.
What? I called him by the title. I did the thing.
You.
So,
Thayan,
what
so
exactly? What do you want us to do? Be clear.
Just to know exactly what your intentions are with the exiles and to be notified when you go to engage the cult with the exiles. We will provide what assistance we can to basically take the exiles out of the fight so you don't have to deal with them.
Thayan Yeth. So we continue as we normally have. If we deal with any cultists, we'll kill them or do whatever we normally do. And when the time comes for us to assault the Well of Dragons, you'll be there to take care of any remaining exiles that will be present. Is that correct?
That is correct. We will assist with the exiles on your assault at the Well of Dragons.
So Crow, turning back to the rest of the party, will say, so we pretty much just do what we've always been doing. The only difference will be is that we just tell them if we've encountered any cultists when we've been traveling around, then their emissary will tell them, and they can deal with it.
So why couldn't he tell us how many have been exiled so we can get a decent number?
I don't know why they wouldn't tell us. Maybe they don't want us to know their internal politics.
Over the centuries, there have been thousands. Does that help you knowing now that there is that many that could possibly be working with the cult against you?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you very much. I'm ready to leave.
So, why did we need to come all the way to Thay for this? Couldn't we have made this arrangement via letter or?
Because we have fancy papers.
Well, I mean, they did send an emissary. That emissary could have helped make this discussion back in Waterdeep Iron confusing as well.
It matters not.
Maybe they have we could find food here or something. If they got a restaurant, go eat.
I wouldn't dare eat Thayan cuisine.
I mean,
Crow will turn back to the vampire and say, "So, Thayan Yeth, you said that you wanted to know what our intentions are with the cultists or with the exiles."
But of course.
To kill them all. Our intention with the cult is to stop them from raising Tiamat, and my intention is to kill as many of them as I can. I think that a number of the members of my group share a similar cause, though their reasons may differ. But that's our primary motivation for doing what we do.
I'll be honest. I just kind of got paid a lot of money when we started, and I never really decided to quit. So I just kind of got tied in for the ride.
Luke, can you give me a deception check on that, please?
Seems pretty honest to me.
I mean, he did get paid.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know what happened, but
I don't know either, man. I'm on the same page as you. I'm just kidding.
So,
but we heard one of you mention something about food.
Yes, I am starving.
The vampire then turns, looks at one of the rights standing behind him, says something, and all 5 of the rights in the room disappear, basically out different doors. You then see a couple of zombies come walking in carrying a table. They then set up a very elaborate buffet-style meal for you at the edge of the room. The rights then come back carrying platters of food of all different varieties. It is a very luxurious-looking meal, a very exquisite-looking meal.
Ooh, this looks good.
And they basically set that up along the one edge of the room for you guys.
So the rights are these undead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Those are the whites.
Do you guys not worry about maybe bits of flesh or?
Do we really want to eat undead food?
I don't know.
It doesn't
smells
matter.
pretty
I
good.
do not pollute my body and mind with foods prepared in such an extravagant way.
My body and mind. You also don't eat meat, Rano. So
that is correct. I will not eat the flesh of another creature.
Yeah, I'll eat.
Upon hearing you say that,
great.
She then turns to the Lich, says something, or to the right, says something else. Again, they leave the room. Also, they come back in carrying another table. They set up one that has nothing but vegetables. Nothing but fruits and vegetables. An entire vegetarian table.
Are all of these vegetables and fruits, are these organically grown and ethically sourced?
I'm going over to the first
If you are
table they brought out.
referring to magic or chemicals or alchemy involved in their growth, no.
What's at the first table they brought out? You said buffet style? I'm kind of curious. I want to go over there and look at all the choices.
If it's a food you could possibly want, you will find it on that table.
Crow will say, besides,
I'm a druid in Faye. The whole campaign, I've
Of course
talked
they are
nothing
well
about,
maintained.
but about how I
We're gonna
hate
find
the
bits of
undead. They're an
flesh
abomination.
in our food. We need to take care of, the tools.
Oh, are none of them rotting? Are they're all nice and preserved?
So I'm gonna walk up to the table with all the food, and I would like to try and take some time. I'm gonna wave over at Tharkayan. I just need to say a quick prayer before I ingest my meal, if that's okay.
And while he's trying to talk to him
Well,
about prayer,
that
Lou's gonna
prayer-
start putting it in his bag.
That prayer would be a ritual cast of detect poison and disease.
I shall join you in that prayer.
And
I mean, I can't cast
Crow
any.
will go ahead and just start putting some food and various meats and vegetables on a plate.
Lou's kind of like putting them on, whatever, like a plate or that. But then he's also like scooping it into like a bag, like while people are trying not to look like putting them in his coat, like whatever bread or anything.
Stuffing bread
take.
and meat in your pockets.
Not me. It would be dry things, things that wouldn't ruin my coat. Bread. No, that's all I can think of. Things for the road. Maybe sweets.
Okay, as you are ritual casting your detect poison and disease spell, Yeth is going to walk up to Lou and addressing Lou directly.
Oh shit, you're dead.
I noticed there was something that you had left out in your reason for doing what you do. It didn't sound completely. What's the rest of the story behind why you are still fighting the cult?
I'm gonna quickly shove something in my mouth, so like a piece of food that's in my hand. Huh?
I was just wondering what other reasons you have for continuing your fight against the cult.
I got my mouth full.
I oppose the enemies of freedom and self-determination wherever they lie.
Just finish my food. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's it, declaring himself an anti-fascist in Faye.
I wouldn't go that far, but close enough.
No, that's basically what you just did.
Faye is ruled by a dictator. A
is
magical
a police
undead dictator.
You messed up.
And
Listen,
based on that comment, Finrod, I need a deception check from you.
Oh God, he's gonna get
Hold on
dragged
just a
off
moment.
into a political prison.
We're all gonna die.
Okay.
And I trust I don't have advantage.
Roll's done. I'm done with the roll.
He's
so.
going to get dragged out of political prison. We're going to try and save him. It's going to start an international incident. We're going to go to war with Faye. Tiamat's going to rise up, and there'll be she'll get there, and she'll like, oh, there's nothing left.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
There's nobody here. I guess we just
wasted
win.
my time.
I think we've seen this one before.
So,
Tiamat killed the cult.
So Roland's actually going to ask Tharkion, given the appearance of the undead, he's actually going to inquire as to how the spell works to preserve them so well, and also announce that he's dealt in that magic a little bit himself, trying to get some tips to ensure that when he raises individuals to be undead, that he can keep them as well preserved as possible.
Rano is standing behind Roland's back going, me. I do that magic myself, me.
It doesn't seem very Rano-like.
Yes, it
Rano's
does.
very annoyed. He's done with today.
All right, Roland. As soon as you finish asking that, Yeth looks at you and says, well, those are techniques taught to the youngest of necromancers. Most of them are still in, like, children when they learn how to do that properly without the decay. Was that not taught to you as a necromancer?
Lou kind of yells, "Ha! He called you a child."
So Roland's going to elbow Lou right as he tries to take a bite afterwards. And then he's like, no, I've recently only acquired these magics, and I am learning them as I go.
Really? Well, once the cult stuff is over, you need to come back because we have people that can teach you how to properly wield this magic.
Like hell you will.
Wait, what are you, his mom?
I'm gonna turn my good eye towards Lou and just glare angrily.
What? Rano's a grown man, maybe.
I will take that in consideration. He's like, thank you for the sincerest offer.
I need a persuasion check, Roland. Thank you.
Yep.
Ooh, plus 10.
How do
You
you
know what this meal needs? Some music.
Oh, would you like me to play you a little ditty?
Oh man,
Ooh,
I would
yes.
love music.
And they're going to walk up to Asifa. And why is it you fight the cult?
Well,
how do you not know?
Asifa's with me. She just kind of got pulled along for the ride too. Started off as something
Yeah.
simple.
I mean, we go places and they attack us and I kill them. So, yeah.
I think it's more of like a legal serial killer kind of thing.
Asifa. Deception, please.
And then the council sends us off to do it again, and I do it again. Deception, did you say?
Yes, please. All right, I will also need a persuasion.
I'm lost.
And those both kind of accurately reflect her bewilderment at the question. I mean, why do you fight them?
He does something.
They said we had a common enemy. That means it's their enemy.
The
Why is
exiles.
The exiles.
He told us earlier they're mad because of their treachery.
Not the cult, the exiles, but the
the
exiles are working
exiles.
for the cult. That's
They're
why
mad at the
we're here.
exiles because they betrayed Faye.
Oh, I don't care about whether they betray Faye or not.
I think he's just wants to stab someone, to be honest.
Like Sildra. What's with all the questions? Stip.
I'm gonna start sneaking more food
And-
while while he's talking.
Seldriep walks up to Crow. And what is your grief with the cult that you continuously attack them every chance you get?
Well, they're responsible for the deaths of my family and the people I was closest to. So any chance I have to invoke retribution upon them is taken. I will not suffer a member of the cult nor an ally of theirs to live if I have the chance.
Persuasion, please.
Yep. I am not a charismatic man, even though I'm the greatest hero of the land. Not very charismatic. I mean, that's what I've got Thayan for.
Is this the first time Crow's mentioned about his family?
No.
Or has he totally said it
he
before? I don't think I was there. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
Don't you remember the bar? When
Yeah, there's
everybody...
the bar before
I
we,
wasn't
before we
there.
got into the castle.
No,
I
yeah, that's
wasn't-
right. You're not allowed in the
I-
bar. You're too young.
What?
No, but
Yeah,
we
I
had the
wasn't
whole
there
bar
either.
scene. Everybody sat around. We talked about our motivations. Everybody except for Ronald.
I wasn't there. I know that. I missed that
Well, you were
session.
absent. Yeah, and that was the excuse we made in game was Lou's too young to be in the bar.
Asif was younger than me.
Well, we don't know that. Well, you humans look alike.
Classifa and Lou know that.
You're all pups compared to
We've
me.
compared notes. Yeah, we've compared notes, so we know that.
At least I move around at a decent pace. Old man.
Seldriep walks up to Rano. And what are your thoughts on the exiles that are assisting the cult?
Aha. A simple question. If they ally themselves with the cult, then they are doomed to die.
Persuasion check, please.
Oh, all right. I'm like super good at these. I'm pretty sure we just failed to bring Faye to our side. Because everybody failed to check.
Why did they send us? Why did the council send us?
We're adventurers. We're mercenaries. Like they're literally paying us to come do things. Like, why are we?
I think that the council knew we would antagonize them, and they wanted to do that with a way to save face.
I guess.
To be fair, I've been the sincerest.
Me too.
And I didn't lie. I
didn't either.
I didn't intentionally lie.
Crow didn't lie. Crow's been very straightforward.
Well, if none of us are liars, then there's a lot of deception checks there.
Okay, the deception checks are based on my opinion as the DM of stuff that has happened and stuff your character has said on whether or not there is even the hint of a lie in any answer you give.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Seldriep walks back up to Roland and asks basically what he knows of Severin's plans.
The hell, Severin? Oh, that's the cult. The head of the cult.
Well, in terms of Severin's plans, as far as I know, he's just trying to resurrect Tiamat. I mean, he's worked with a few red wizards, I believe. Wrath Modar was one that we had actually killed. Outside of that, not much else, and we've just been trying to kill them as much as possible.
He's trying. Rano's like talking behind his hand. He amassed a big treasure hoard to lure Tiamat, and then he's gonna use the dragon mask to bring her to the.
Rolling, can I get a persuasion check, please?
Months ago, we don't remember. I don't remember any of that.
I remember that.
I mean,
Pups,
is completely
children.
lost track of all that.
Because you don't have a high enough wisdom to retain it.
Absolutely.
Well, my wisdom's literally 0, so.
Hey, we passed the check, I think. Haha,
We
no
passed all of-
DC 30, nerd. Oh.
Iseldra, yes, says, I do have some other business to attend to. My servants will show you to your quarters for the night.
We gotta stay here.
Yeah, you were informed it would take some time for this.
Oh, nice.
I don't trust it.
Well, I do. I'm gonna explore the heck out this place.
All right.
No, we're probably gonna get
As-
locked in our quarters. Go on.
What?
As Sandra Yeth is leaving, I need everyone to roll a persuasion check, please.
What are we trying to persuade him?
Ossifa clearly doesn't know. It's trying the wrong things.
For some reason, I didn't take proficiency in persuasion.
What is wrong with you?
I'm not persuasive. I use magic to persuade people.
Aren't you supposed to be a merchant?
Right?
Yeah.
And he was a good merchant.
Actually, we
I
know
may-
that he's not a good merchant. Didn't he say before his business
That's a
failed?
good point. Yeah.
Oh, I never said that. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he said that.
I may or may not have been entirely honest about the merchant thing.
What are you honest about, Lou?
My disdain for you at sometimes.
Actually, I think that's a lie as well. I turn my back to Lou and talk to the rest of the group, pointing my thumb over my shoulder at Lou. I'm pretty sure he actually likes us a great deal. Because for not being personally motivated to destroy the cult, why else would he stick around with us for so long?
Your
I
protection?
can still hear you.
It's okay, buddy. I actually really like having you around too.
Don't treat me like a child.
Well, you are a child.
I'm not a child.
If you were a member of my tribe,
I
we
am
would
an
be at the
adult.
age where we just gave you your first bow and taught you how to hunt.
Hunting's not hard. Yeah. Corner the animal and then you.
Well, as for you, Rano, you seem to enjoy having us young things around despite all your protestations otherwise.
Wait, Rano, you hunt? I thought you didn't eat meat. What do you do with the bodies after you kill them?
You misunderstand, my child. Not everyone in our tribe abstains from eating flesh. It is only I and the other spiritual elders.
It's unlikable.
You see, in order to maintain our connection with the Father Sky and Mother Earth, our bodies must be pure. But it is not something we abstain from doing due to moral obligation.
So you're just a pushover.
I'm sorry.
You just couldn't be like everyone else, could you?
If abstaining from meat is the price I have to pay to call on my gods and wield their awesome might, that is fine by me. Unlike you, Lou, who are still indebted to yours. My gods give me their power freely.
You do not know what you're talking about, Rano. I am not.
do, actually. You've called upon your patron before in our presence. We know that you meddle with devilish forces, and I've not said anything to the contrary yet, but at some point that bill will come due. You realize this?
I think you're in over your head.
I'm gonna walk up to Lou and put my hand on his shoulder.
Don't touch me.
If we survive this, Lou, when we send Tiamat back to the 9, then when it comes time for you to face your patron, to try and win your freedom, you do know you can count on me.
I do not need to win my freedom. My freedom is already given to me. I am free as I will always be. And you don't know what you're talking about, Rano. Okay. I am happy
this
to
earth for many years.
How does your deal with your patron work?
No, Isfa, there's things in this world that you don't understand.
That's why I'm asking you to tell me.
I don't want to explain it.
That's because you'd have to admit the cage you're in.
I'm not trapped. Okay. I am free, and I always will be. Is that clear, Rano?
I didn't mean to touch a nerve, but I will state my position once again, and I'm sure that the others will agree. When that bill comes due, you can call on me.
Well, all of us would stand up for Lou, of course. But Lou, what actually is your deal with your patron?
I don't want to talk about it.
I would imagine he goes off and sits in the corner with his back to us.
Isfa, what do you do? Okay, you haven't talked about you at all.
Me? What about me?
You. Why are you here? Why did you move away from home? Why didn't you live with your nice mom and dad? You know, your loving parents that probably cared about you.
Wait, Lou! I think this area has begun to poison us.
What?
Oh, that's right. I never gave you a response to your detect poison. When you ritual cast it, the only trace, and I mean a very small trace that you detected in the entire room, is on one of the corpse, one of the rites in the room, which makes you believe that it is still in his system, and that is how he originally died. But the food that was provided, not a single trace anywhere of poison.
So, back to what I was saying. Lou, it's the atmosphere of Faye. The necromantic energies, they are polluting your chakras. We must carry on with our business.
What's a chakra?
It's
a chakra is like a spiritual center of the body. There are certain points where one can channel energy and be able to, it can have a very profound effect on the body. It can either help or hinder them in a myriad of ways.
Oh no,
really?
Crow's crazy too.
No, training with chakras is part of my training as a monk. The martial arts that I implement often make use of these chakra pathways.
How hard could a monk be? You go around, you do ninja moves. You spin and you punch a bunch of people.
That's
Have
deflection.
You seen what he does?
He's just trying to change the
do
subject
that.
away from his patron.
I mean, he's got a point. It's not difficult, but I mean, it's not difficult when you spent years training in it.
Did you get training?
I can understand that that you might think it was difficult, considering that I make it look so easy.
How did you get training as a monk, Crow?
as part of my family's business. We were. Oh, of course, you weren't there. My family was a group of spies and assassins for a noble house in Waterdeep, but the cult ended up betraying the house and killed my entire family.
Wait,
What? So
you
why
were in the
does
cult of
council
dragons?
want-
No, the house that I worked for made a deal with the cult, and the cult betrayed them. We worked directly for the house. We weren't actually tied to the cult itself.
What was the house called?
I actually have it on my sheet somewhere, I think.
Ah, yes, the House of Assassins known as. I have it on my sheet somewhere. I've heard of them.
Well, no, the family that I was in was they were just called the Ravens. We were the group of assassins that worked with a particular noble house. But I think I have the name of the noble house on my sheets.
I think that you now
No.
work for the Council of Waterdeep.
I grew up in Waterdeep. I may have stolen something. Anyways, I don't remember them. So
Wait a minute. You were an assassin.
Well, I was being trained as one. I wasn't old enough to actually go out on missions.
So you hadn't yet completed any crimes.
No.
is there something wrong with that? He would have been a kid, you know?
How do you not see something wrong with that? If he went out and killed people for pay, he would be just as greedy, just as lecherous as the cult.
Isn't
I
that
would
what we're
say
doing?
that we don't get our family didn't get paid. It was part of an old obligation. We were servants of the house. We were our
Oh, so
entire
you're
family
more like-
line was indentured to. I mean, I guess in a way we were slaves. If you want to think about it like that.
Ronald, a little crime isn't gonna hurt anybody. Okay.
But we were just one of many different families that worked as spies and assassins for noble houses. Such things are commonplace in Waterdeep.
Huh. So that makes it okay. Lou?
I mean, if it was kind of like a family business, you know. I mean, if your mom and dad tell you, "Hey, you were going to be an assassin," and he was young, you know, I was just like, "Okay, mom."
I mean, there was never any discussion about it. It
You,
simply
you
was.
never. I mean, it's not like they gave him a choice. Like, "Hey, do you want to go to school or do you want to become an assassin?" I mean, I would have wanted to become an assassin. Sounds dope.
Sometimes when I think that I've accepted this bunch I've found myself traveling with, and I think that maybe, just maybe, the things outside my tribe aren't so bad. You guys remind me how callous and cruel you really are.
No, Rano, I didn't ask to travel with you either, but here we are. We're doing politics together and something with dragons, but things.
What can I say? We weren't all destined to live charmed lives. Some of us drew the short straw, and we just did with it what we could.
Was that directed at me? Do you think my
Definitely.
life was so charmed and pleasant? Do you think I
Definitely.
chose this? And I point to the gnarled scars around my eye.
Wear an eye patch.
No, I never wear an eye patch. I let my ugliness hang out for all to see.
Well, you didn't need an eye patch to do that.
I meant,
Face.
I just meant, you know, not exposed to the ugliness that is quote unquote civilization.
Rano, what was your big bad? You know, since your life was so horrible.
Do you not know?
No, what?
I lost everything. My mate, my children, my entire tribe, slaughtered because of greed.
Oh, Rano, I'm sorry.
It's in the past. It's been centuries. But... And he just kind of looks off wistfully.
Is that why you're always donating to the orphanage?
Who's greed?
You should just ask who's.
Yeah. So you see, where we used to live was a sacred grove. None but our tribe were allowed to trespass. And there was a group of humans, loggers, wanted to intrude upon our land, cut down our most sacred trees. Of course, my tribe was warriors. We were prepared to protect our land, to protect the grove, and so we chased them off with spells and sword. Of course, it didn't matter. They were cowards. They came in the night when the tribe was asleep. They didn't even take the trees after that. They just burned it down. I only survived because I was incapacitated. They left me for dead. You ask about the orphanage, Lou? Well, after I recovered, and he kind of holds his eye, I found the man responsible. I used my glamours to blend in and hide within their settlement. I watched him. I waited. And then when the time came, I killed that man. I took from him just like he had taken everything from me. But then I didn't expect his pups to be there. They were so sad, the children. I realized that to them I was just as much a monster. And so I sent them to the Starry Cradles. That's why I give them my money. I feel obligated. The pups didn't do anything. It doesn't matter, though. But don't talk to me about a charmed life. And he wipes his one eye.
I grew up in the orphanage too. I'm not a merchant. I'm not, I don't have any cargo or anything. I was on the streets my whole life. Never had anything. The only way I made anything of myself was I stole. I set scams, pickpocketed people, just took whatever I could, and I didn't make it lucky the entire time. I ended up in jail, and I spent a long time there.
Is that why you made your pact? To escape your bondage?
Yes.
Hmm.
I was in a stone cold jail cell.
I look around at all the undead that are still in the room. This is an odd place to exchange tales. Whew.
Yes, we should probably go.
I mean, to be fair, no one's truly listening.
Yeah, what are these guys going to do? Can I just turn around and be like, hey, you listening? See, look, he's not
Pardon?
doing anything. What?
As you ask that, the red wizard looks over and says, "Were you speaking to me?"
Oh, I thought. Oh. My bad. I thought you were dead. I didn't realize you were. I wasn't speaking to you. It's okay. I think we should go now.
Yeah, to our chamber, right?
Upon saying you guys are ready to call it for the night, Emma comes up to you and says, "Rooms have been prepared for each of you."
Wait, we each get our own room?
Why, yes, visiting dignitaries does come with
Oh.
benefits.
My gosh, I don't have to share a room with any of you. I'm gonna sleep so well. Take me.
Rano, I think you should help protect the child of Lou.
The child. Boy, I'm gonna hurt you.
Isn't he like 20 years older than you?
Still slept this boy.
All right, so you guys depart from the main chamber where the feast was, and as you head to your room, you notice that all 6 of your rooms are in the same hallway, right across from the hall from each other. There's 3 of you on one side of the hall, 3 on the other. When you enter the room, you notice that it has been made up in ways to remind you of home.
Oh,
Basically, like when Asfa walks into hers, she immediately can feel the searing heat from the desert. Rano, when you walk into yours, you can smell that it's been enchanted to smell like a forest.
I stand outside the threshold and I drop my pack to the ground before turning my back to the door and just kind of weakly, I'm not staying in there.
Is there a problem with your room?
Why would you think I'd like this?
The rooms were decorated based on what we know of the different members and based on your histories.
Asifa enters her room, closes the door, and bursts into tears.
oh no.
God, what it must be like for these people having thought they were being so thoughtful only to make us so miserable.
I'm kind of curious. What is everyone else's now that?
Can you imagine mine just being a stone slab and some chains?
Oh my god. Mine's gonna be the nice the sidewalk. Oh, I love it.
Right. For ones like Lou, who grew up in the orphanage, your room is like basically an estate style manor type room. A big luxurious bed in the corner.
Oh, so they everyone else is of home and mine is the complete opposite. I love it.
It's basically stuff to make you feel comfortable.
Oh, yes.
So, what is my room like?
The back of a van.
No, it's a big party suite in a hotel room.
Well, Finron grew up amongst elven nobility, so it would probably be something posh.
Oh, this is the guy who's living a nice, luxurious life. It's just
Finrond, when you go into your room, you notice that there is a portrait hanging up on the wall, covered by a sheet. Looking at it, you can barely see through it, and what it looks like is behind that sheet makes you really eager to take the sheet down to see the portrait itself.
And I do so.
You see a black ribbon, as in honor of someone that's dead, across the top corner, but you see an elaborate painting of Sarpedon.
Finron looks at this with incredulity and he had been searching for Sarpedon for many years, and only heard about him secondhand from travelers he's encountered, but have never actually seen a likeness of him.
Okay, so is everyone going to sleep now?
Sure.
What's
Well, for
Crow's?
those of us that do sleep.
What's
Yes.
Crow's room?
For those that do sleep. For those of you that do not sleep, I need a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please.
What do you mean, do not sleep? Oh, like staying up?
We have an elf.
Elves don't sleep.
2 elves.
We have two
Yeah.
of them. I do not need the wisdom from them. I do need, with disadvantage, from the other 4 party members that do sleep.
At disadvantage?
Okay.
With disadvantage.
Okay. Wisdom save. With
Mine
disadvantage.
didn't roll through. It rolled on D&D Beyond. Hang on, let me refresh. Okay, it's not rolling through. So
Did you
I'm gonna...
click on your features and traits? There was a box when you first loaded in. Anyway, just sort it out.
All right. We will start with Rano. While sleeping, you are basically awakened in your sleep, finding yourself chained in a dark cauldron with Wizards of Faye around you. You are chained down, you cannot move, you are completely restrained. One of the wizards says, "We have further questions for you."
Huh. So why not simply ask? I have not deceived you yet. Nor do I intend to. I never speak untrue.
"Why are you here in Thay?"
That's a stupid question. Because I was asked to be here. By you.
What is your attitude towards... Oh, wait a minute. I need to roll after everyone. Persuasion.
Oh, okay. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. No, it's the same roll. Charisma +1. Eh?
All right. What is your attitude towards and about Saz Tom?
I could care less about him individually, but he is an undead, is he not?
We are asking the questions. You will just answer them.
Well, if he is an undead, then he is an abomination, an affront to the natural cycle of life and death.
I need another persuasion check.
Jesus Christ, man. Damn it, I did it again. It's okay, it's still
It's the wrong one.
same one. It's charisma +1. So it's an 11.
What do you know of the dragon masks?
I know that they have power over the chromatic dragons that matches its color. I know that the cult seeks to use them in some way to bring Tiamat.
Another persuasion check, please.
All right, let's click the right one this time. We got this. Persuasion.
Aha!
Why were you chosen to be the envoy of the council from the Sword Coast?
Because me and my comrades have been an active participant in the downfall of the coast. We've also acted as emissaries to the chromatic dragons and have been a voice in the Council of Waterdeep.
Persuasion check.
You know, for only having +1, I don't know what the DC is, but I'm feeling like that's pretty solid.
What is your opinion on necromancy?
Did you not hear me before? There is a balance that must be upheld in the cosmos. We are born, then we live, and then we die. As we die, we will nourish the earth and the plants, and that will be the end of our being. To disrupt that cycle is an affront to all things that are natural.
Persuasion.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I give up on necromancy.
If that is your opinion on necromancy, why do you travel with a necromancer?
Strange times make for stranger bedfellows. The factions are prepared to ally themselves with Faye, are they not? It doesn't mean I like you. As a fact, I will tell you now that I do not. It doesn't mean that I condone your practices either. But there is a larger threat on the horizon, and so I have to tolerate you.
Persuasion check.
Oh no!
What is your opinions on Tiamat?
Tiamat? I have no opinion on Tiamat. She is simply another threat that must be crushed under heel. I know that things that are terrible, acts of horror, have been enacted in her name, and for that I will never forgive. But to her, as an individual, just like your Saztam, I do not care.
Can I get a deception check, please?
Not deception, I'm telling the truth.
You started off by saying you had no opinion and then went into an opinion.
You're right. I hate the cult. Everything they do in her name, as I explained. I don't care about her. But, sure. It's the same check. Charisma +1.
When you killed the master in charge, why did you save his offspring?
They were innocent. They couldn't be held accountable for the crimes of the father.
All right. Persuasion.
You could set up a macro.
Upon answering that last question, you wake up. Basically, you bolt right up out of your sleep, drenched in sweat. You can see that there is blood on the sheets, yet there is no obvious wounds, and will not benefit from no benefit of a long rest.
Okay.
All right, now that you are back awake again, Asifa.
Uh-oh. Asifa took some of the cushions over in a corner and kind of...
Oh no, we're past all that. You've already made yourself comfortable to sleep. You fell asleep.
Yep.
You find yourself in basically a dark cauldron type area, chained it down with red wizards around you, and they say, "We have further questions for you."
And I start struggling and spitting and trying to escape. I don't like being chained.
Upon trying to struggle, you are immediately wrecked with you are struck with a pain so severe that you are briefly incapacitated. When you come to, the wizard says, "If you are finished struggling, we can begin with the questions."
What treachery is this? We came
What
here as emissaries.
What do you know of the dragon masks?
What do you mean, what do I know of the dragon masks? They do something to the dragons, and most of them are at the dragon well held by the cult.
All right, that'd be a persuasion. And why were you chosen as a rep of the Council of the Sword Coast?
I don't know. We've been we haven't been we've been successful in combating cultists. We've not been successful in retrieving masks for the council.
All right, persuasion. What's your attitude towards Sastam?
I don't know who that is.
Deception. And what is your opinion on necromancy?
I haven't given it much thought.
Persuasion.
And through all of this, she's kind of struggling, and whenever she gives an answer, she snarls it out.
What do you know of Rath Modar?
I don't know who that is.
All right. One sec. I'm trying to figure out because I know you have fought him.
I don't even have his name down in my list of named NPCs.
We killed him.
Let's see. Recall something from the past. That would be a history check, right?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a history check.
We killed him.
Okay. He was on the giant
He was
castle.
in Blagatha's ship.
Oh, is he the one who escaped from the castle?
He's the one that tried to escape.
Yeah, neither one of them actually managed to escape.
He was
Okay,
like with
so
all the hidden walls and stuff, right?
He's the one that tried to use the mirror image to escape,
Yeah,
but
okay.
Crow saw right through that. Okay, now that I've refreshed your memory, would you like to change your answer to what do you know about Rath Modar?
He's dead.
Persuasion.
Sorry. I thought it didn't come through, and I ended up clicking it multiple times.
That's fine. I'm just taking the first answer.
Good. I like the first one.
What does the party plan to do about Severin?
Kill him.
Persuasion. Why do you travel with the Necromancer?
I didn't know he was a necromancer when we started, and I haven't given it much thought since.
Persuasion.
And anyway, why wouldn't I travel with a necromancer? You travel with a necromancer.
And why were you exiled from your home?
That's no business of yours.
And with that, you also wake up in a sweat, shaking. You notice that there is blood around you, but you don't see any obvious wounds. You also do not benefit from a long rest. Lou.
Uh-oh.
You fall asleep. You wake up in the same dark cauldron-style room that I've already described, chained to the wall.
Oh God, is this about me taking the food?
One of the Red Wizards says, "We have further questions for you."
Go on.
Why did you make that deal in the jail cell?
No comment.
What do you know of Severin's plans?
I have not been properly informed.
Deception.
Nice.
What is your attitude towards Sastam?
Who? Oh. No comment.
What is your opinion on necromancy?
No comment?
What are your opinions and thought on the cult trying to bring Tiamat back?
Do I really need to say it?
We need an answer.
No comment.
What do you know of the dragon masks?
Only what I've been told.
And what have you been told?
You should ask some of my other party members. I know what they know.
And why were you in Thay? Why were you sent to Thay?
Could you repeat the question?
Why have you been sent to Faye?
I mean, I had papers. Did you read them? You know, they had my name written on them, nice and fancy. And they were, you know, it said it there.
What do you know of Rathmodar?
I'm not familiar.
And with a jolt, you wake up covered in sweat, seeing blood drenched on these sheets, but you do not see any obvious wounds on your body. Crow.
Yeah.
All right, you know where you are, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In
Okay.
a big bat.
The red wizard comes up to you and says, "We have further questions for you."
I mean, you could have just asked. Like, this is why nobody likes Faye.
What is your opinion on necromancy?
I mean, I can't say I'm a fan.
Persuasion.
You know, if you kind of like just came to my room with like a pot of tea and asked, we could have just had this in a normal conversation. Unless you're not working with Thayan, with the Thayan. Are you perhaps those that work against them?
Why were you chosen as a rep of the council from the Sword Coast?
I don't know. They send us to go do all kinds of stuff. I honestly don't know why they're sending us when we're not politicians or diplomats. I asked the same question and I didn't get an answer. But you didn't answer my question. You don't work for the Tharkayan, do you? That's why you're doing this.
I need a persuasion check for your last answer.
Okay.
And we are the ones that are asking the questions. You just answer questions.
I mean, I did just ask a question though.
Based on your answer about necromancy, why do you travel with a known necromancer?
He's a good friend of mine. We've worked together for a while, and although he has some necromantic magic, I don't think that's the main focus of his things. Besides, if it means that we get to kill more of the cult, I don't really care. I'm not really a fan of the practice, but if it's a tool we can use, then we can use it.
Persuasion check, please. What do you know of the dragon masks?
They apparently have the power to control the dragons. The chromatic ones, anyway.
Persuasion.
Do you have any masks?
What is your party's plan to do if you confront Severin?
Kill him.
Same thing we plan to do if we confront any member of the cult. Kill them.
Persuade.
And allies of the cult as well.
Persuasion.
And I'll roll persuasion, but if you count yourselves among the allies of the cult, that means you too.
We totally failed.
Now think back to that night long time ago. If you suspected something was wrong, why did you open the gate?
Because mine wasn't a place to ask questions.
Persuasion. What is your opinions and thoughts of the cult trying to bring Tiamat back?
Well, Tiamat's bad. Don't want it to come back because lots of bad things will happen. But in general, my vengeance is with the cult itself and not so much with Tiamat.
I need another persuasion.
Might be being a little slow. There we go.
What do you know of Severin's plots and plans?
Just that he plans to bring Tiamat back using the dragon masks somehow. I don't really know the details of it. I leave that to smarter people than me.
And persuasion.
So you said I see these red wizards around. Do I recognize any of their faces from people that were in the chamber when we were talking to the Thayan?
No, you do not. And as you are thinking that, you suddenly bolt wide awake, covered in sweat, blood on the bed sheets, but no obvious wounds. You also do not benefit from a long rest.
So
In the morning,
do we need to roll
you
for
are-
exhaustion then, since we didn't rest? Because, like, we hadn't taken any damage. We haven't cast any spells. I don't... Like, if we're not getting the benefits of a rest, like, are we rolling exhaustion, or is it just flavor? Like, I don't understand.
it's flavor.
Okay.
So, how are you guys' night?
That's not pretty full.
I could have slept better.
The wizards are being shifty,
These
Using,
damnable wizards.
using spells on sleeping
Okay,
guests.
forgot one thing. Everyone that failed that first wisdom save with disadvantage, you do not remember anything about that dream.
Well, how do we know if we
Nice.
failed or not? You didn't tell us the
I'm
DC.
I'm scrolling. Well, I wasn't not supposed to give the. Oh, 1 second. I'm scrolling to where it was.
Now, disadvantage, I had a 3, so I failed.
It was. I mean, I could tell you. Me and
I
Rana
don't-
were 16.
Yeah, I
Crow was
don't
10
know,
and
but
Finron was 5.
I'm so tired.
All right, that looks like everybody failed that save, or everyone that actually sleeps.
Okay, none of us remember it.
Cool.
What you remember is that you had a disturbing dream, but you don't remember the details, and you also know that you have not slept all night.
I did not sleep all night.
I'm
Well, maybe
so
some food will make up for it.
Oh, food! And I reach into my coat. I pull out the numerous round of bread products I've stolen. Look
See,
what I
Ronald,
got.
All right.
this is why I told you to stay with Lou. He's not sleeping without you.
All right. Everyone that did not have a good night's sleep, that is how much psychic damage you took from the modified dream spell.
Noise.
All right. You guys are escorted into the main chamber where you originally met as Saldra, and basically there's red wizards there. You see the help walking around, Eseldra Yeth is not there. Only Nye Elmic is there, and she speaks to the party. Darkin, yes, thanks them for their information, but Thay's attention is commanded by matters within our own borders, and the Red Wizards cannot help. Upon her saying cannot help, the other wizards immediately cast a spell, triggering a teleportation, and you guys now find yourself in an abandoned farmhouse about a mile north of Waterdeep.
What? Wait, what just happened? Wait, did they just kick us out?
Seems that way.
Well, good. We didn't want their stinking help anyway.
Right?
Rude.
We are no
Gotta
worse
turn-
off for wear. Let us go
gotta turn-
report to the council.
Turn to the party. You know, this is why no one likes Thay.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
Hey, wait, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, you couldn't be dreamed. Because you have the invocation.
No, that's a creature concealed. Does that matter? I don't know how dream works.
Anyway.
And as you guys go to leave the abandoned and rundown farmhouse, is a good place to stop for the night. And you guys can talk to the council tomorrow or next week about what all you've learned from the Fae.
All right, you heard the man. That's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, join us in the Discord, and I will see you next time.